Death Runner. That's what they're called. Like the Death Runners are a species of like dinosaurs that kind of like the main, not really the main predators, but kind of like, well, by far probably one of the bigger threats that deal with Skull Island. So after, excuse me. So after Kong shows up, he ends up kidnapping Doc, and it's up to Captain Stormlong and all them to try to save Doc. But he escapes, do some like crafty shenanigans, and a lot of fun times. But the interesting when it comes to this, Kong does play a good part of it, but he's not. But he's knocked out through half the freaking book. There's a point he shows up to the headhunters, they're being attacked by Death Runners and the headhunters. They just attack Kong with these poison arrows, and to the point that he is out for the count. I mean, he is knocked out like a bitch. And it gets to the point that they're trying to revive Kong while they're captured. But so then it continues to where Doc has to save Kong and keep him alive, while also in the same time trying to make sure that his their mission there to get Stormalong off the island happens. So I don't want to spoil what happens on the ending, but that's the thing. They end up leaving the island. Doc Savage kind of ends up back home, appreciating what he's learned from Skull Island and in the way it's made him. So it's made him a better person. Also, I it was a fantastic read. I give it on a kaiju rating, 8.5 out of 10. It's a good read. Recommended by Kaiju Review for you. But yeah, I was that's the thing. Some of the parts it took me a little bit to get through, but that's mostly because of my ADHD. But other than that, I was quite entertained throughout the way, and happy I got to learn a little bit more about Skull Island and Kong's history. And the cool thing about this, it's connected into the Joe DeVito verse. So we end up getting here's a little bit how it goes. So Doc Savage Skull Island takes place before the events of King Kong. Then after that, then halfway through when they capture Kong and go into start heading to New York, they actually stop in Africa, and at that point that it takes place with King Kong meets Tarzan, and that I'm probably going to read that one next. And then after Tarzan and King Kong, we continue with Marison Cooper's King Kong, and then after that, then it goes straight into King Kong, to King Kong Skull Island with Joe DeVito. And it is a fun little universe, which I do recommend. Even the comics behind it, we'll do a review on the comics here soon. And I do hope everybody enjoyed this short 20 minutes review on Doc Savage Skull Island review, and we will hopefully do a little bit better with you on next time, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this podcast by The Real Cuddle Productions. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did making it. Reach out to us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Real Cuddle Productions, or at our email at kaijureviewforyou@gmail.com. The Real Cuddle Productions hope you've enjoyed this program.
Hurry up! We're not even supposed to be on this podcast. The Real Cuddle Productions is closed. Mr. C, we don't have time for this. The Real Cuddle Productions deals with streaming up, Neil.
These are all podcasts we do. Look up Kaiju Review for You, Through the Eyes of an Ensign, Cartoon Nami, and 15 Minutes of Hell. With episodes that get published weekly. Now, let's hurry up before we're found out.
Hey, what are you doing?